All right. So, what we're looking at here in the past is the Lovers. And the Lovers is your card, Gemini. Okay, that is definitely your card. And then you have the card that's opposite of yours, which is Sagittarius. So that's very interesting. But I do get this feeling that you guys have this strong connection with an individual. This is love, right? Lovers is love, pure love. This is beautiful card. This is really a beautiful card because I feel like this is drawing you to this individual. This person that you've met is totally someone that you connect with in such a deep level. Now internally, you guys have the Hermit, so I feel like for some of you guys, there was a need to kind of look within, gain a new perspective in regards to to some answers that you may, some questions that you may have that only you can answer. I think there was something internal, some self-reflection that was necessary, or sometimes maybe you guys feel isolated in the connection, but I don't think so because the connection is so strong. Potentially there was some sort of isolation, maybe, but it was all for the better. Though I feel like whatever you guys went internally to look at it, it's a lot better. It's a lot better than it's a lot better than I was thinking. Okay, let's bring this down just a little bit more. Okay, so with the Hermit coming up here with your internal energy, complementing your external energy. There we go. I feel like there was success in regards to you feeling like success and confidence from this time of, not necessarily detachment, but time of looking within yourself. Okay, this period of isolation. And I don't think this is a bad thing. I feel like you try to figure out, I think there were some things that you may needed to figure out about the connection within yourself, what it meant to you, how much it meant to you, how much love you felt for this individual, because you come out of it feeling very happy, feeling like you're celebrating, right? You're successful. And there's nothing wrong with that. I like that card a lot. So this is a really wonderful beginning here. I feel like, yeah, you came from a place of where you were single, and then you come out of it feeling very victorious because you've established something with an individual that you feel that's very deep. Now presently though, you have the 10 of Wands, so there is burdens though. There are some things that are burdens to you, and it could potentially have a lot to do with the 7 of Pentacles, which is talking about, what is worth your time, what is worth your effort. Starting to see the fruits of your labor blooming, which is great. But then it's like, it's also you're figuring out and assessing how much time and effort do you need to continue to put into this situation. Now, considering this is a relationship, right? It could be that the situation is very burdensome. You've been waiting for a long time, and you're starting to finally see the sprouts of your labor, but you still are not able to, necessarily harvest them yet. You're starting to see them blossom, starting to see them bloom, but you can't get them yet. But externally, you have the Temperance energy, which could be you guys could be dealing with Sagittarius. But I do get this feeling that, here's the thing. You're dealing with 2 Mercury energies. First of all, you got Gemini, you got Virgo, and then you have now Jupiter, Sagittarius. But what I do get the sense of, though, is that the 7 of Pentacles is talking about feeling like you've been putting in a lot of work or putting a lot of effort into the relationship, and you've finally seen seeing some sort of results from it. Nothing that's harvestable yet, but you've gotten to a place where you're like, okay, well, I at least see something going on. And do I have, like, it's that renewal process, right? Like I was telling you before about about the card. I don't know if I said this to you or to Leo on a past video, but I see the 7 of Pentacles as like a car renewal, right? It's like, okay, or something that you're renewing a lease to, right? You've finally put in a lot of work into, making the apartment nice. There's still a lot of work that needs to be done. But then there's the lease that comes up, right? Asking if you want to renew it and continue putting in time and effort to continue to build on it. But you're trying to figure out whether or not it's worth putting the time in at all. Or continue to, or renew the lease and keep going. Like, you're not fully 100% solid in the relationship yet. Like you're in, you like you have one foot in and one foot out. Like you're not certain if this is something that you want to do. But externally, you have this energy that's talking about harmony and in the, and managing yourself, managing your expectations and responsibilities. Okay, and I feel like that's potentially honestly what's going on. You're taking it slow, you're slowing down a little bit just to kind of look at where you've come in the relationship and how much it truly means to you, because you've got a lot of stuff on your plate. You're feeling very burdened. This energy of burden. This is a burden energy. This could be that this has to do with someone else. Maybe someone else feels that they are they're putting in a lot of work, but or maybe they feel they're burdened with a lot of responsibilities, but externally they're kind of like managing themselves. So it's very interesting, okay? And I feel like with this sort of situation, considering that there's a lot of burden, there's a lot of stuff that's happening, or this time of harmony, right? Managing yourself and stuff. Maybe this burden is potentially more of your situation or maybe someone else's problem and not affecting the relationship exactly, because temperance is peace, it's harmony, like I was saying, and this is also patience and divine timing. So maybe there's still more to wait on, and you're having to carry this burden through because it's like you're almost at the end of the cycle, but you've worked so hard and you're still having to wait. There's still some sort of energy that's this pushing to wait. A lot of waiting energy here. And I feel like honestly, in regards to this relationship, right? Whatever you guys have been doing, whatever you guys have been putting in, like there is some stuff that still needs to be waited on. There's still some things that divine timing hasn't touched on yet. And I feel like it's just going to require you guys to just keep pushing through, keep doing the hard work, keep moving forward. Because temperance is all about managing yourself, managing your responsibilities, Just handle your business, right, at all times. And the universe will do what they do, right? Which is, bless us with something amazing, something that we need to build ourselves up. And I feel like, especially to complete the cycle, they're going to complete the cycle. We just have to keep ourselves balanced, okay? With temperance coming up anyway. So Gemini, I feel like keep yourself balanced, keep yourself in a harmonious state, allow divine timing to kind of do what they need to do by just remaining patient and doing the best that you can and making sure you're handling your 50 and that's it, right? Delving into someone else's stuff can affect the flow. So be careful about that. But temperance is all about managing yourself, managing what you can do. And the Seven of Pentacles, he's managing what he can do already, but yeah, he's seeing the fruits of his labor blossom. Again, not necessarily harvestable, and it's just more patience is going to be required from you. And it's already hard with the Ten of Wands, especially because you've come so far, you've come such a long way from this, this love connection, taking some time out to really see what it is that you were, to regain some sort of perspective or to find yourself. And you come out the other side feeling awesome. But now you've got this burden of this relationship that's not necessarily going anywhere yet. Well, they're going somewhere, but it's very slowly, and it's just going to require a little bit more patience, especially because potentially the partner's going on through something on their own end, and they need to just kind of wrap some things up. It's almost over though. It is over potentially. It's about transitioning to the next cycle. That's the part, and I feel like it's just been a long time coming. With this new beginning that's starting to come. So that's what I feel like temperance is coming in for. Now in the future, you have the Seven of Cups. So I don't mind this too much. It does give me a little worried though, because it could be that you guys may feel like the future has only to offer some illusions or dreams. It's not really necessarily going to happen. But for some of you guys, it could be that there is this, this fantasy that's going to be presented, or there's some options that are having to come to you. Maybe that's what's going on here. Like right, you've been waiting for a long time, but now you're presented with more options here in the future. You're presented with more, avenues and ways of doing something. But internally, you have internal conflict, potentially because a lot of these options are pretty appealing. And then you have the Ace of Wands here that starts something new. That's something exciting. That's a new beginning, and a new exciting beginning at that. potentially rekindling with an old partner here, you know. For those of you that are not in a relationship at this time, or maybe have developed, or you feel some certain way about someone else, but maybe you had to step away from the relationship to kind of understand yourself, understand your needs, potentially, right? Maybe this was up, and now you're trying to build a relationship with this individual now, and you have the option to do so, but there's inner turmoil about reconnecting with the ex. Okay? But those of you that are already in a relationship, yeah, you may have taken some time off, or not time off, but like you really need to do some soul searching for yourself. But you feel good about it, right? You feel good about doing that soul searching energy because you've put in a lot of effort and you've been recognized for it. And that success that you feel from doing all that work has landed you in a relationship, or landed you in a connection that's so strong. But there's a lot of work that needs to be done in this relationship, and you have to continue to wait on it. You still have to continue to wait on what it is that you're trying to manifest from this relationship. So here you are now in the future with options presented to you, some situations that are potentially too good to be true. So you're having to you have inner turmoil about it, but there's a new beginning that's starting. There could be that there's a situation that's too good to be true. Let me go ahead and see why is the Seven of Cups What's the Seven of Cups in your future? Seven of Cups is coming up for... Oh my gosh, there's too many cards here, actually. The Eight of Wands. Oh gosh, the Knight of Wands. Well, we'll keep those. Communication. This is you, Gemini. This is your card, the Knight of Swords. Knight of Swords is your card, y'all. And I feel like with this energy, though, it's like... Yeah, it's like... You know what you want, you know what your truth is, but then at the same time, you have the Eight of Wands here that's talking about things moving very fast. It's like finally the things that you've been waiting on for so long has finally kicked off, but it's almost too good to be true. It's almost too good to be true because this is everything that you pretty much wanted, potentially, that you've been fighting for so long. And there's finally progress being made. So the internal conflict could be that you're not sure exactly if this relationship is exactly going to remain this way. If this is something, is this really a new beginning? Because you've been going through such a hard time. And it's been really boring, to be absolutely honest. It's been very boring with the Seven of Pentacles here. So with the Five of Wands coming up, there's like, okay, there's activity happening. Okay, but do I get involved? Do I continue to get invested into this? Or is this something that's just gonna go away just as fast as it came in? But it's a new beginning that's coming in. It's like that fire that's starting. It's not like the Page of Wands where it's gonna not last. It's only gonna last for a second. Okay, it's something new. Let's see what the Romance Angels is coming up for you guys for this week. That future is definitely interesting, Gemini. And totally can understand the, the suspect sort of feel to it. You're like not sure if you can trust where this is going, or you can totally like believe that there's actually some speed being picked up on this, because it's been a slow process building this relationship. Oh wow, forgiving and learning. As you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moments. So whatever you guys had to wait on in the past, or whatever you guys are doing right now, maybe there was some time apart in the past too. Well, in regards to this relationship, forgiving and learning does indicate to me that there is something that has to be let go of. Forgiveness and like a detachment of some sort. Not detachment from anything, but mostly seeing what it is that's causing you the most frustration and to release it so that way you can be free and open to new options. Forgiving and learning is an interesting thing. It's an interesting thing to come up. This is, the Temperance card is a card for healing as well. It's a very healing energy. Okay? It's a very healing energy. And perhaps whatever you had to go through in the past that may have been a lot of work that you sought, that you've had victory in, maybe it was just very draining, right? It still was very draining. And it's still, obviously, the Ten of Wands is a very burdensome energy. So perhaps there's just a situation in the relationship that's that you've had to put in a lot of work. It wasn't exactly the most exciting, but you still have this, it's about, if you wanted to manifest something that's wonderful, you may have to just it may have to be something that you release of some sort of, no, I don't want to say there's any resentment. I mean, there could be for some of you, or somebody that you're dealing with is resentful of you, right? But I feel like there's something that needs to be released with this forgiveness and learning in regards to kind of everything that you had to do internally and what you're having to continue to do right now, because you're still wrapping up the cycle. And it's a burden, and maybe you're having to do it on your own, and maybe you're having to carry the wands on your own, and you're trying to carry this relationship on your own. But maybe it's because that the other person may be completely out of commission at the moment, and they're trying to get everything together. They're trying to get together. I feel like this person is trying to get together, because the Temperance card is coming up. So I feel like there's something that they're trying to do, but it's still a lot on you. So maybe there's something, maybe that kind of situation is what's kind of making this too good to be true. Like, finally you're starting to get some sort of response. Finally you're starting to get some sort of something that you may actually want, but it's conflicting because you've never really had it. You haven't had it yet. I don't know. You know what I mean? But yeah, forgiving and learning. Something that needs to be forgiven in regards to the work that you're putting in for the relationship, right? Maybe you have to forgive yourself for something. But ultimately releasing what may be holding you back, which is possibly just this feeling of always having to do the work. Because maybe somebody just couldn't do it at the time.